into marginal time. I wrote onto my bathroom door. I wanted to remind myself with this obviously highly compressed statement of something, which is that at a given life expectancy, if I'm able to increase time resolution, I'm effectively living longer. Based on a gene report, based on a gene test, I assume my life expectancy will be about 58. I'm in the 7th to 10th percentile of longevity, according to this report. So what options do I have? I can increase time resolution, but how? If there is a task that is fixed in its execution, I'm able to execute this task faster, and effectively I'm gaining time. Examples: the faster I can think, the potentially more I get done. The faster the processing speed of my phone and my notebook and my computer, the potentially faster I can get things done. At least if then the thinking speed is not the bottleneck. How can I increase my thinking speed? Potentially by increasing metabolic health. How can I increase my metabolic health? Potentially by strength training and trying to increase my VO2 max estimate. Currently I'm at 57, at least according to Garmin running estimate. How fast will I be able to think at a, let's say, 75 or the 97, the world record? I don't know. If I have a piece on the piano, then I can increase the speed at which I play. Of course, now the quality of the piece might be perceived differently, but if there's a certain order of steps which just have to be executed, the faster I execute them, the more I can do things like this. Of course, there are many things which are constrained by time. I won't be able to do 10 minutes of doing something in 5 minutes in the future if I use time as the constraint. And also sometimes my time overlaps with other people's times, making this obviously not just a magic wand. If I listen to an audiobook, I years ago figured, why not listen in higher speed? And probably many people thought something like this before me. Otherwise, I would not have the option to choose higher playback speeds in a player. I began about 10 years ago to listen to audiobooks and podcasts with increased speed. Currently, I've consumed 524 books. Of course, now one could argue, wouldn't you understand more if you listened in 1.0? The answer is an obvious yes, because I also spent way more time on listening to the book. Speed 2.0 compared to 1.0, I spent obviously twice the amount of time on it, meaning I could now listen twice to the same audiobook in the same amount of time. And also I'm aiming at, ideally in the long term, increasing my listening processing, which then also means at a certain unit of absolute time, let's say somebody speaks to me, then ideally, at least if I'm sufficiently alert, etc., I can then have more thoughts in between. I can maybe listen better or finally fulfill my childhood dream of flying.